Still muted?
How about now? Making noise. Can you hear us? Maybe. Maybe possibly.
No, it's working now.
Yay, it's working.
Well, so I checked this before we started the stream. Oh, I need to remove this. But the last stream we had, we were crashing.
So this is a step up.
So we had to update a bunch of things. Yeah, it's a step up. We had to update a bunch of things on the computer, and I guess that changed around some of our settings.
Oh,
I don't know.
gotcha.
Uh,
I like what Scuba Esteban said. Man, I for one am really enjoying this experimental form of streaming.
yeah, it's
It's the new
we
thing.
communicate in Morse code by blinking our eyes.
Mhm.
That's the new thing.
I don't
It's
know
like-
what I just said. I hope it wasn't bad.
Yeah, it's like the evolution of ASMR streams.
Yeah.
So, thank you, Raptor Attacks. Happy birthday to you too, and you too, Lewis. Happy birthday to you. Yay! It's Raptor and Kronzy plays and Lewis's birthday. Yay! Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, everybody.
Show us all the balloons.
Check out these balloons. Lauren got me these balloons and they're pretty cool. It says, this looks like a job for Spider-Man. And what does that one say?
Just a cool picture of Spider-Man.
It says Marvel Spider-Man.
Oh, it does say. And then it also says Designware Registered Trademark, Copyright Marvel.
Oh, yeah. Interesting facts. Thank you for the birthday wishes, y'all. And happy birthday. Have Oreos on you. All right, I'll send you a bill. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, way to go, Lauren. I appreciate it. But yeah, welcome to another episode of Insomniac Live. I'm going to do this whole intro again.
Yeah.
Tim's out, so I'm hosting. I'm here with James. James likes to wear a red hat. Wow, you really wear that red hat a lot, James.
Yeah, it's a defining characteristic.
Yeah.
We have a guest.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
I can't stay for too long, but stay for a minute. I saw Resistance and I had to come by, see what was going on.
Turns out that's a really good game.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. I think we're close to the end, actually.
Oh, we are, okay.
You might be able to tell us actually how close.
Okay.
Yeah. Do we want to get into it?
Yeah.
Stream, Sean, stream.
Hey, everybody.
All right, let's switch over.
You played the whole thing?
No.
All right.
I played like 2 or 3 times.
Gotcha. You were good, though.
Thanks.
He is good.
Not bad shooting, I'd say.
Alrighty. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Considering
This is very close to the
hit
end.
and all.
Do you think we have an hour
Go
left?
ahead,
Less than
I'll
that.
cover this
More than that?
I feel like there are only a couple levels left.
Okay. So that sounds like about an hour.
Couple.
Your favorite game ever, Firecat?
I think that Cartwright isn't dead, because I believe he goes on to star in Resistance Retribution, which is a PSP title
Oh, I did not know
that I
that.
think was made by Sony's Bend Studio. It was pretty good.
Nice.
Oh, this is the last level.
Oh.
I think this is it.
Uh-oh.
But it's really, really annoying.
Well,
So it might take an hour to beat.
I haven't played this one, so
You have an upgraded rifle.
You have an auger.
also have to remember
You can aug them.
everything. Okay. Right. Auger.
Well, all the way down, I believe. The bullseye?
Bullseye.
That is upgraded now.
We had upgrades in
Okay.
this game?
Yeah. Or, actually, you're about to pick it up. Spoilers. Sorry.
Oh, damn
I
it.
played this level a bit last stream, but we didn't get through it because...
Oh, that's right. We can
Weird.
curse because it's a mature game.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have to chastise you, James.
There you
So
go.
that is upgraded.
Oh! Hello. Oops, that's not fire.
How do you know that it's upgraded? Like if you just...
Well, when
I
you
saw
pick
it's
it,
changed.
when you pick it up the first time, it tells you. It gives you a little notepad thing about it.
I got you.
And also, if you shoot it, it has a different colored projectile. It used to be like orangish red.
Huh.
Oh, okay.
Originally, what became the Angels were supposed to be these dudes that lived in mobile aquariums, almost like the navigators from Dune, for those folks who are familiar with Dune. But
That's
we
cool.
decided that they weren't a really threatening, especially threatening enemy. And that you actually needed to get close to these things and see them in action, which is sort of why they evolved into this flying creature.
Gotcha. Yeah, when I first saw that thing, I was like, whoa. I was really taken aback by it. Chat is moving so fast that no one's seeing my amazing questions.
That's not an amazing question.
Thomas, read chat more. I'm sorry.
It's a very, very inappropriate question.
All right. Well,
Oh.
last time I grenaded myself, so maybe this time I won't.
That's
do
kind
that.
of... It's on a button that doesn't compute for you.
Yeah.
It's probably because it's just some weird old controls.
Which one?
I hit L1 with the gun out that shoots a grenade launcher.
Oh, yeah. That's your secondary.
So that's the Angel right there. They're originally called Primarchs. And they couldn't survive outside their aquarium. Which is really, really, really metal until you want to fight it. And things in aquariums that are locked in these little aquariums aren't really compelling boss fights.
Right.
Oh,
I can see that. That makes sense.
James.
messed up. Messed up.
Oh wow, they had the upgrade as well. That's cool. One thing that Resistance had that I missed from the rest of the series were the hybrid alternates. There's one that has hyper strikes and uses a shotgun. It's really cool.
See, hey, I have not noticed that.
I think it has hyper strikes.
I think.
Oh,
do those guys
hello.
have like more of the protrusions on their back? The things that you
I
shoot.
think they might. These are the most upgraded. I don't remember exactly how they were distinguished, but we can take a peek at them.
Yeah. It looks like they have more of those spiky.
PlayStation
bits.
Classic, Thomas. The
Opinions
most
on the
excited
PlayStation Classic.
I am excited to play Jumping Flash again. I remember playing Jumping Flash in 1995 and it absolutely blew my mind. The game blew my mind.
What games are on it? Have they announced the full?
I think there's one of the Ridge Racer, maybe Ridge 4 or something like that. I can't remember. It looked like a good lineup though. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool to see.
Like Metal Gear Solid?
I don't think Metal Gear was in there. I think that they maybe were all first party titles initially.
Okay.
Can't remember.
So no like Metal Gear, no Resident Evil.
Oh yeah, Resident Evil, another really good one. Oh, the sticky balls.
Was Rapper the Rapper first party? I have no idea.
Those a lot of the most creative weapons in this game were programmed by a guy named Nathan, and so that weapon we would refer to as Nathan's balls gun. That it shot Nathan's balls around. Yeah, it's still funny. There was one of our sound designers that he was so happy to use that expression whenever he could. I'm not gonna say who he is, so I don't embarrass him.
This part's hard, man. It took me.
This is not going well. There's not a lot of cover. I'm
We-
trying to remember how to shoot.
On the last stream, we crashed, and
It's impossible.
I kept playing
Never happens.
while we were trying to get the stream back up. While Tim was troubleshooting, and during that whole time, it took us like 10 minutes to get back on, or something like that. During that whole time, I just kept dying. This part, I didn't get through it. So this part is a little tricky.
It is really hard. I remember having a bug that only happened toward the end. I don't know if I turned on invincibility. It takes a long time. These things have a ton of hit points.
Yeah, they really do. And then we were also throwing James, like, he's played twice earlier levels, and now we're throwing him into like the last level. So we're asking a lot from James here.
James has some skills.
He does, for sure. It's only 3 or 4 of the 20 games revealed so far for the PlayStation Classic.
What are they?
Indeed.
Ape Escape. Oh man, that shipped with the DualShock controller, didn't it?
It did, yeah.
Because that was its thing.
It was the first game.
You can use joysticks.
Yeah. I remember using it. I was like, whoa. It was like immediately mind blowing.
Remember the game Medieval? That game was cool. I'd like to play that again.
They're remaking it.
They are.
Yeah.
I like Medieval.
Or remastering it, remaking it. I don't know which. But yeah, I love it too.
It was obscenely hard,
It's one of those
but it
games
was really cool.
that like I loved it at the time. I'm excited to play it again, but I don't know how well it's gonna hold up.
With the remaster, I remember it being pretty charming. What was the main character's name? Sir what? Do you remember?
Oh, Sir Will.
Damn, I
William.
can't remember.
Wilbottom.
Alien Resurrection was the first game to use right analog to rotate camera. I didn't know that.
Yeah. It was a first-person game.
There
right?
it is. There it is. Sir Daniel Fortescue. Well done. Well done.
Yep.
I think there was a Medieval 2, right?
There was, yeah, if I remember correctly.
I think that one was really good.
I think my trepidation with that game is just a lot of games in that era, that very early 3D era. It's like they hadn't totally figured out how to do a 3D camera yet.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
that
we're
kind
about
of
to
stuff.
find out. I mean, all
Yeah.
this stuff is pre-Spyro, I think. You know, with the PlayStation Classic. And you're right about that. I remember a game like Battle Arena Toshinden is horrible, but at the time it was super cool that you could dodge.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that game is so bad. I'm sure it's terrible. I think like there was a guy with like a bat, and he would go batter up.
I had played that one. Did you ever play the original like Kingsfield games?
Yeah,
Precursors to the Souls games?
yeah, yeah.
Those are also like
Are they linked to each other?
It's just like they're spiritual.
Because the same I can't remember the company that made them.
From software. Same developer.
Yes.
And I think there's probably some other links, but it's mostly just spiritual.
I do remember those. Those were pretty cool.
Yeah. But they also they were awesome at the time. Really do not hold up now.
No. But some of the early PlayStation stuff I think has some blocky charm to it.
Oh, for sure.
Non-perspective correct texturing.
I mean, I think Spyro holds
They didn't
up great.
divide. They didn't divide by a W. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about dividing by W, James?
I've
Or
forgotten what that
multiplying
means.
by 1 over Z. Dividing by Z. I'm sorry, W was 1 over Z.
What difficulty is
embarrassing.
it on? Asks Firecat. It is on normal.
Do I need to get out a whiteboard and talk to you about projection matrices?
That would be boring for a lot of people.
Who wants to hear about projection matrix construction?
We have a whiteboard right over there.
We do, okay.
We're ready to go.
It's going to be like Glenn Beck used to with his whiteboard. That's going to be great. Isn't that him who had the whiteboard?
I think so. Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Read some like crazy chart,
Yeah.
starting with Obama and then ending with Satan or something like that. It was awesome. For simpler times. Yeah, so PlayStation didn't do that, and it did not have a Z buffer either. Think about that. So you had to draw everything back to front.
Oh.
Yes.
Inefficient. Oh,
Well, it's
die again.
yeah, it's insane.
I'm gonna just back up. As soon as I trigger these guys, I'm just gonna back up.
You guys put the PS2 NPCs from Spider-Man 2 in the new game scared the heck out of me.
Which ones?
I'm not sure. I don't understand that comment.
PS2 NPCs from Spider-Man. Here's the deal with those. Those do not look like PS2 characters. Those look like PS1 characters. Those do not. Those look like.
Oh, I know what you're
Those
talking
look
about.
like the character models from the original Quake. Like that. Everybody keeps saying like that they look like PS2 characters. They don't. PS2 like had some polygons to it. It's the only thing it could do well was
Right.
was draw a lot of polygons.
I remember when that was like a big bullet point selling feature for games. Is how many polygons
Yeah.
you had.
Yeah.
That's the only thing the PlayStation 2 did really well. It couldn't do a lot with the pixels, like the newer generation platforms. But man, it could push a lot of polygons. It's actually what led to Ratchet being the way it is. Ratchet going with the long draw. Yeah, because you could just push a lot of geometry.
Interesting.
Couldn't do very sophisticated lighting, you know, texturing, but definitely could do a lot of more.
By the way, Chad, Sean worked on Resistance, so if y'all have any specific Resistance-related questions,
I don't.
now would be a great time to ask.
Were you guys aware that some people managed to get out of bounds in Spider-Man? Yes, we are aware, and we love it, especially if you can do it with a flip while you're flipping through the air. I used to hate that stuff until in Ratchet Ratchet PS4 people figured out how to do something where they could swim through the levels, and that's when I embraced bug videos, because I realized it was just the most charming thing to see somebody swimming around Rilgar.
Sometimes I like to watch the videos where they like get like a debug cam or something and fly around the levels and see stuff that you shouldn't see, like see where characters load in the scene and all that kind of stuff.
That's because you're a game developer.
Yeah. I saw one about the original Spyro and it was really interesting. Like they were showing like how characters shrink in that game and stuff.
That's awesome. That sounds really cool. Let's see. Is the game hard that we're playing right now? Yes, it's extremely hard. On Crash, they did something like shade the textures instead of just doing high-res textures. Yeah, you did a lot with vertex, what's called vertex shading, especially in Crash. I think that's how they got some nice lighting in there. Naughty Dog was always a little bit ahead of us with that. A video like that, you could walk underwater of Poketaro with the Hollow Guys. That is epic. I love it.
Interesting.
And no, we will not patch that out.
Happy birthday to you too, Denise. Remaster asks, what is your favorite development story from this game, Sean?
My favorite development story from this game. There was once a time when somehow we got word that Ken Kutaragi, who was I think he was the president of PlayStation at the time, possibly the CEO of all of Sony, but I don't remember, that he was going to walk by an office at a certain time, and they wanted Resistance to be played on that screen. So it was this really orchestrated thing, and it was in Japan, the Sony offices, that, you know, like Kutaragi was going to just walk around doing whatever he was doing, going and beating people up and yelling at him. But he was going to walk by something, and they wanted like Resistance to be shown. And to accomplish that, we did a multiplayer game, and I think that this game was it 16 on 16? It might be 16 on 16. And so because it was in Japan and because it had to be in the morning, we had to have people, a huge crew of testers, both at Sony and at Insomniac, play the game in the middle of the night for like 2 hours to cover this. So like when the CEO, or I can't remember if CEO or president, but when he walked by, that they would see this on there and somebody could point it out and Ken would go, you know, give it thumbs up or something. I heard he could be like a pretty challenging dude, so maybe it would have shot somebody or something like that.
Right.
The really amazing thing about this, like after the fact, so we did it because that's what we do. Of course, you're going to jump at the opportunity to do this. We did this whole thing, and I think we later learned that that his walk by had been canceled. And so not only did we put on this whole dog and pony for it, but we it was ultimately for no reason whatsoever.
So 16 people are up at like 4 a.m.
No, 32 people.
Oh, 32.
Yeah, so we're up for 2 hours in the middle of the night, so we could put on a show for no one. It was pretty cool.
I am paying attention to chat. I just gotta juggle it.
Are we getting a disruptor too? I have no idea. I did work in Burbank. I worked in Burbank for 5 years.
And thank you, Ratchet and Clank.
What was I in charge?
birthday.
What was I in charge of? I was a programmer, and so I worked a lot on the audio engine. I worked on the movie player in this game and dialogue stuff, emergent dialogue for all the characters. I feel like I had to debug a lot of really, really nasty things involving the hardware. But those were my primary points of focus on this one.
Pancake Cat.
Oh, I also did the little the loading spinner. the very last minute I did that loading spinner.
Oh, right.
And it's not centered properly, which I think I mentioned last time.
You did mention that. I've been trying to see that the entire time we've been playing through this game. I still cannot see that. It must be like 1 pixel or something like that.
One story I can tell about Spider-Man's development was the time. There's a certain turning point in every game where you realize that you have a winner on your hands. And it's usually the time that you as a developer can enjoy things even though they're not done. And I distinctly remember this point in Spider-Man when I could swing around the world and just sort of like waste time for a long time. And I must have played for 90 minutes or, you know, this 10-minute, what was supposed to be like a 10-minute segment just because you could swing around the world. And I could see even then that like this was extremely compelling and unlike anything I'd ever played before.
Sure.
Which was super exciting. And I remember at the time I climbed to the top of the Freedom Tower, which we later had to remove from the game for licensing purposes. And I remember all I wanted to do was go to the very top of this thing and jump off, and it was totally awesome. Really, really, really awesome experience. It still is. I was playing last night.
Yeah, I was playing it too actually last night.
I played when I got home. I was collecting backpacks and taking. You know what I like to do? I like to take photos on the fly.
Oh, every single picture I
You
took.
cannot stand and take a photo.
Nope.
You have to be flying by and then frame it. It's
Yep.
That is
That's the way to
bliss.
do it.
Yeah, it's bliss.
Really, really fun.
Well, it's what you can do with Spider-Man, right?
Yep.
What?
You know why I didn't cry from the ending of Spider-Man? Because I read it in a spreadsheet. I read it in a spreadsheet that had a summary of all the scenes in the game, and I read that and I was like, oh, what? I would cry had I experienced it properly.
Could really use some carbine ammo.
I miss Hale too, and we have Capelli to blame for that. And I just want to point out that creative director Marcus Smith later not only let Capelli live, he rewarded Capelli by making him the star of his own Resistance game in Resistance 3. Brian said yesterday at Spider-Man, they let you guys do anything as long as it makes the game better. In fact, there's now all 4 games. What were they like back on PS3? Was it the same? I don't know who they is. There's a funny pronoun thing.
I think they're talking about Sony.
I'm guessing it's Sony. Yeah, Sony's all about letting us push the envelope on just about everything. I mean, they are. What they care about the most is, you know, giving us what we need to make the best game we can, and they're as supportive as, you know, anybody you could ever imagine. And not only do they, I mean, a lot of the times they're pushing us to do some of these things, which is great. That's the reason why we love working with them.
Mm-hmm.
I think I lived back here.
I'll try and be. Nobody's done it yet, but let's be mindful of spoilers in the chat. Some people haven't beat the game.
Oh. At the end of I thought you meant me spoiling the end of Resistance 2. That
Oh
Hale
no.
dies.
No. Talking about Spider-Man.
We made a grown woman cry. That's an ignoble accomplishment.
I called Brian a monster because of the ending. Oh no.
Brian is a monster for all kinds of reasons, including the ending. It's
Mhm.
true. That's what I think of him, as a monster. Just a horrible monster.
Monster can be a good thing though, right?
Well, everybody dies eventually.
That's
Remaster
true.
Resistance.
That's true. Life is a terminal condition. It's getting dark now.
Glad to see that you're going to play Edge of Nowhere. Edge is...
Lasted a long time,
It's a spooky game.
Edge of Nowhere is awesome. So is The Unspoken. Glad you enjoyed it. What was your favorite class in The Unspoken, Lewis?
This is so long ago.
This save point is in like a different game. It's like in the game. It's like in the game we were playing before we played Resistance. It's so far back. This is crazy.
Oh my god.
My favorite characters are, of course, Hale and the Doctor. That is Dr. Malakoff. Nathan. That's what he used to say. That's a really good impression I just did. Not at all offensive to Russian people. Yes, that was Dr. Malakoff. No, do not give Sean the controller. Sean can barely play anything.
Forgot about those guys. Because this was so long ago.
I'm pretty good at Octopath Traveler, but that game requires no skill.
I haven't played that. People love that game, though.
It is. It's pretty charming. I enjoy it. My 5-year-old son watches over my shoulder and tells me what to do.
Oh, really?
And he's always wrong. Always.
You always overrule
That's
him?
fun.
Oh, that's funny.
I have been to Aruba. Do you speak Papiamentu? That is the sort of Creole they speak on the island, which I think is a combination of Spanish, Dutch, and French, maybe? Sounds bonkers.
There's a lot of different languages to know.
It is.
Thanks for all the follows, y'all. Zuka, Nasser, Insomni, Highberry, Harry, Tim the Dark Side, Haha, Hi.
Can you write an insult to Tim in Papiamentu?
Ooh, that's interesting.
Don't make it dirty. More like Tim is more bald than
More ball.
than Wilson Fisk.
That's a dangerous request.
Is this game released in the same year? No, this game released the year before Tools. This is 2006. I think November.
That's a really good memory.
This one's burned into my brain.
Yeah.
It's a very hard game to make. Oh, the fast hybrid. I love that guy.
What, the one on the wall that
Yeah.
I'm hating right now?
Yeah. Those are really cool.
Oh. He's also distracting.
Balder than Bruce Willis. I mean, it's true. Tim doesn't golf clap for you.
He doesn't. For some reason, that's a running thing. They want Tim to golf clap, and Tim refuses.
Let's see. Oh, we're back here.
Yep, I died again.
Shades of... This is like 50 Shades of Grey should have been the name of this level. This is pretty original. What is it? This level is called like Angel Ascents, but it really should have been 50 Shades of Grey. Not my Christian. Sorry, that's a little bit old. I'm glad you got that.
I can't
Wow.
believe I know that character's name.
I can't believe that you got that either.
I didn't get it.
That's the
I want to know 100% of the reason why I was
the
able to
main
make that
character?
reference was because of my darling wife, who somehow managed to read those books. Bless her Midwestern heart. Damaged. You didn't know Insomniac made Resistance? Goodness gracious. What a young pup you must be. The Insomniac Museum was such a great feature in Ratchet games. Who came up with that idea? That's an awesome question. You know what? I don't know that one. I would have to ask somebody. I can text somebody right now. Let's see.
It is an awesome feature, though. I remember the first time I saw that way back in the day. I think it was the first or second Ratchet.
Let's see. I am going to write Brian Hastings, one of the founders of Insomniac.
Still. Damn it.
Oh no, he's not online. Maybe Allgaier would know this.
I did not know Insomniac made Resistance. We did, yes.
Oh my god. I really
Resistance
need them
3 is underrated as heck.
Is it really fun watching me text with the idea of the Insomniac Museum? That's a really good question.
I'm sure it's just as fun as watching Tim text.
Okay.
Or me.
There you
cry.
go. We'll get an answer for that. Insomniac has done a ton of games.
What's Melee?
I think Melee is a stick click.
I think it's Circle. or something. No, it's not circle.
You know what?
Oh,
It might-
Triangle.
That's right. It's a button. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's,
Which game? Resistance sold pretty well.
There was ammo over here. Nope. Never mind.
I think Resistance was until like last Wednesday. It was our best-selling game of all time. Maybe.
really?
Oh.
Maybe.
I didn't know that.
Maybe that was Ratchet. I can't
It
remember.
makes sense, though.
You mix up Insomniac and High Moon? That's bonkers. Oh, the moon shapes? Yeah.
Oh.
They ripped us off. Ooh. There's another company called White Moon Dreams that also has on there.
Really?
And I'm out of ammo. That's gonna get.
We would love to have Sean more.
How much would Sunset Overdrive, how much would it have sold on the PlayStation 4?
That's
weird
quite-
question.
You know, it'd be
Quite
really
hypothetical.
crazy. That is like the worst use of a time machine. Like, could you imagine, like, if somebody has a time machine, there's somebody out there and they're like, I want to meet Jesus, I want to kill Hitler. There's another person, they're like, I want to go back and see what happened if we could put Sunset Overdrive on the PlayStation 4.
I want to cut my hair down.
Somebody could do that. Like, somebody could have figured out how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
To get that done,
I'm gonna die.
would have had to have something catastrophic happen to Microsoft, like one of the biggest companies in the world. So they were small enough. They just needed the cash, and Sony was there, and Sony had the cash. Those two things are highly unlikely.
Yeah.
So then Sony purchases Sunset Overdrive, and then brings it to completion, releases on the PlayStation 4 to massive acclaim. I don't know.
That's quite the alternate timeline.
Doesn't everybody like alternate history things, like in comics?
Oh, yeah.
Like when Spider-Man has a beard or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's how you know it's an alternate timeline, because Spider-Man has a beard.
There's like a Renaissance Spider-Man.
Yes, you do need to prepare yourself for Stormland.
Die.
Stormland's gonna knock your socks off. And if you're not wearing socks, it's going to knock your toenails off. It's
So wear socks.
like that. Yeah, so definitely wear socks when you play Stormland. Let's see. Is there any talk of other heroes your team would like to approach? I think you guys would make a cool Daredevil game.
Right now, we're focused on Marvel
Yeah.
Spider-Man and Stormland. So
I thought there's a few that like I think would be fun to work with. You know, it was funny too. Like when I actually started making games because of Final Fantasy VII. Because like all I wanted to do was make something like Final Fantasy VII. And somebody actually asked me recently, like they're like, do you still want to make a Final Fantasy game? And that's what I mean. This is like 20 plus years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And no, I have no desire. I think that whoever makes them does a fantastic job.
Sure.
So
Yeah. There's very few properties that I
Metal Gear,
want
like I
to work
love
on.
Metal Gear. Yeah. What would be cool to work on?
I mean, I'd do anything Star Wars, but I think
Yeah,
that's,
Star Wars. That's true. Like
that's
Star Wars
about
would be cool.
That's about it.
Yeah, Star Wars would be cool. I think. Let's see. I don't know. That's a real toughie.
there's a lot out there.
I mean, Spider-Man really is like such a perfect fit for us. It would be hard to get better than that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Lots of neat characters out there. Black Panther. Yeah, Black Panther's cool as heck.
Are you excited for the Final Fantasy VII remake?
Yeah. I mean, you kind of have to be, right?
Yeah.
It's been in the oven for quite a long time, but yeah, I mean, I think it'll be cool to revisit that
Indeed.
world.
Indeed. I'm interested to see
What is this gun?
all the changes that they make, how that fares.
What's this gun do?
Sephiroth.
Oh.
Do you think they're going to shrink Sephiroth's sword?
I don't
To
know.
be realistic.
Ted Price was indeed the creative director on this game.
Oh, he was
He
really.
was. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That surprises me actually.
Well, Ted always wanted to make a first-person shooter. Well, which we did with Disruptor, but he wanted to make another, better one, and this is sort of the perfect opportunity here. So he really championed this one.
Was it always a first-person shooter?
Yes.
That was core to the.
That
design.
is, yeah. I mean, I think that was what, Sony didn't put a lot of parameters on what we make. What they said is it's got to be a launch title, and it's got to appeal to launch people. A first-person shooter certainly does that. So
Mm-hmm.
there was that, and it's something that we really wanted to do.
This room.
There weren't a lot of great console FPSs. I mean, back then you had Halo, obviously,
Right.
but outside of that, at that time, you didn't really have a lot of competition. Killzone, I guess.
Call of Duty was just starting.
Please don't nerf the Web Blossom. Okay, I'm not gonna. Are there jump scares in Edge of Nowhere or this game? Does our break room have free snacks? Yes. Is it the good stuff? Yes. I don't know what the good stuff is exactly, but yes, I think the snacks are wonderful.
I enjoy our break room quite a bit. Right now we have caramel M&Ms. I always grab a few when I go in
Yep.
there.
They're delicious.
I like that we have Diet Squirt. I just love that stuff.
I didn't know
It's the
we
most
had that.
synthetic tasting thing. It's like drinking a drink from the future or the past. It's like a Nuka-Cola or something like that.
Right.
Like nothing should taste like that. It's a taste that's never existed outside of a laboratory. Now you can drink it.
I feel like that about anything diet.
Yeah, I can't. Do
I-
diet drinks.
I don't know about you guys, but I have never grown out of excitement over free food.
Oh, yeah.
No.
That is like
Oh,
something
yeah.
that I had in college, and here I am, 41 years old. I still, if somebody has like free pizza, I'm just like, yes,
I'm in it. I'm
Like
all over
free
it.
pizza. I know.
I'll go to people's houses that I don't even like for free food.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Yeah. It's a really, really weird thing. Like, I feel like that's something that you're supposed to grow out of at some point.
mhm.
But yeah, like, I still kind of will work for food.
Yeah, for sure.
It's one less meal I have to make.
Do you cook a lot?
Not a lot, but I cook.
What do you cook?
Mostly the same thing over and over.
What is it?
Pasta dishes.
It is, okay. I'm fascinated by this. I just think the life of the Bachelor is a fascinating one. to me.
Nate said the same thing.
It
one
is. It's
time.
interesting.
I make a lot of sandwiches.
You do, okay.
Yeah.
Sandwiches,
Sandwich,
yeah.
okay.
Pork chops, fried pork chops.
Really?
Can't go wrong with that.
That's
Yep.
wild. That's so. That just seems so American.
I think I got a checkpoint. Well,
Huh.
Sandwiches, pizza.
I think that Steph cooks all the time.
Sometimes I
I
do.
don't think she makes pork chops every night though.
Sometimes
No?
I do ribs.
You're like a legit cook, right? You.
where am I
I
going?
thought you cooked all the time.
Where am I going?
I know that Doc's like a. I mean, he was a cook.
Mhm.
He was a professional cook. Now he's an amateur. You do, okay.
Thomas is 41 today. Oh.
Do you think in broadcasting school they teach you at some point not to interact with the people off stage?
Uh,
Is it okay if I
Maybe.
just have a side conversation here?
That's
Is this
fine. That's
interesting
fine,
for people
yeah.
to watch? Okay.
James is the head chef when it comes to Overcooked 2.
Is
yeah,
it?
he is. He was pretty. Took the game pretty seriously.
I could see that. James is a serious guy. I remember when James was when we were like doing your move and your reload, somebody wrote like you were the easiest person to move ever.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You're just like, yeah, just let me come to work. Pretty cool. I was like, this dude,
Please don't fall off.
this dude's
Please
gonna
don't
make us
fall off.
rich. Let's see. Curse you, Insomniac. That swarm fight, yes. That swarm fight. I'm glad that was effective.
You talking about this
Yeah.
game? Talking about Resistance.
He's talking about, or they are talking about Resistance 2. But
Gotcha.
the swarm is coming, Nathan. That was me doing Malakoff again and offending our Russian friends. I apologize, comrades. James saying the suit ability is broken doesn't explicitly mean it's overpowered or underpowered.
I think it's more just his opinion.
Oh, they're talking about Stevenson.
Yeah, they're talking about. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
James is very much Brian Interhart in that he's also a monster.
Indeed.
He's a monster. I am going to go and eat hot chicken with James in a couple weeks. That's going to be glorious.
Sounds like fun.
The swarm part was not supposed to be too difficult, but it was supposed to put you under a lot of pressure. And I think it was hard because there were certain points where you had to turn a particular direction to get away from it. I think the fact that it was slightly canned made it pretty challenging.
Hey! That scared the crap out of me.
Is it hard to get people to golf clap?
I don't know.
It's just Tim doesn't appease to every demand.
Yeah.
Throwing it in, I
That's
guess.
true.
I think it's more
You
of a
should-
will thing for Tim.
You should ask his wife that question. You'll get a very different
Yeah,
answer.
probably. I'll golf clap though.
Yeah.
I don't. This is for you.
Baba Booey. You know they yell Baba Booey at golf matches now? It's the
Why?
greatest thing in the world.
Why?
I don't know, because there's some overlap between Howard Stern fans and golf fans.
Interesting.
So when you say golf clap, I kind of... Baba Booey!
I love watching golf for some reason. I don't know why. I feel like I shouldn't. I feel like I should hate it. But every time I pass by it, it's on. I watch it for like an hour.
I went out with some friends one night to a sports bar, and they had like football on one screen, and on the screen right next to it they had dressage. It was fascinating.
That is like...
It was
That's a weird way to like split your attention.
yeah. But I watched the dressage because like you don't see that every day. Is that it?
I think
I
we've
beat
beaten
it?
the game.
No.
Okay.
Oh.
That seemed anticlimactic.
No, you have not beaten the game.
Okay.
Do you know who owned dressage horses?
Bush?
Governor Mitt Romney.
Oh, Romney. That's what I was thinking.
Governor
Wrong
Romney
person.
owned dressage horses,
Mm-hmm.
who might be a senator in the next couple months. He probably owns a lot of other stuff, but I do remember the dressage horses. What if you watched football? If you went cross-eyed and you had one eye focused on dressage and the other focused on football, what would be the net? I'd like to see like an MRI of what that did to your brain. You would just have like a big middle finger, like outlined. Your neurons would just be like.
Or you'd like solve all the problems of humanity. Become just this genius.
Oh, that's a really good question for
Oh,
our guy. I've
boy.
seen a lot of videos of the developers that took parts of the game, like the start at the ship. How do you feel about that?
This looks.
I'm gonna have to attempt to interpret that question. I believe the game did originally start off on a ship, but then we ended up just showing that in cinematic. Because walking around a ship was boring.
Oops.
We didn't want the game to start boring.
We're talking about Resistance now?
Yeah, we're talking about this game.
Yeah.
It did have a whole sequence on the ship, and then you got on the helicopter to take into Cardiff for the opening level. We took that out. There was a real feeling at the time that this game that was made is that you had to get immediately into the action, and I think we've evolved from that point.
Can we play Resistance 2 next week? Maybe. We're definitely planning on playing that at some point. I don't know about next week specifically. But
The
it is.
IK on that guy's legs almost killed someone.
Really?
Yeah. He's never been the same. I'm dead serious.
It does look
You know, like in It?
complicated.
Remember-
Man, that
Uh-huh.
just
In
destroyed
It,
me.
they made the guy hair turn white.
Uh-huh.
In It, like that's like what that working on the leg IK or the foot IK did to this guy.
Oh, it's effective. It was worth it. I think
What's
it's-
better,
looks
massive
really good.
robot spider or giant enemy crab? I think massive robot spider.
Sound effects with robot spiders are awesome. They are awesome.
Massive robot spider, I'm telling you, better than giant enemy crab. Leapers.
The best boss is the Leviathan.
The thing is pretty cool.
Is that the huge mechanical,
Oh, was that the one I fought last time?
yeah, it's spider-esque thing that you fight in a tank? Was that the Leviathan or?
Oh, well, yeah, John Peters would totally love that. That is a good observation. Who is that? Scuba Esteban? I'm big on that. You know what this movie needs? A giant spider. Giant mechanical spider. It's awesome.
The Wild Wild West.
Use the top right.
Top
Well,
right?
that's what it ended up being, and it was originally going to be he was trying to
Superman movie.
yeah he was pressuring
Yeah.
Kevin Smith to
Yeah.
add it to the Superman movie. That's right.
Was that the Nicolas Cage?
There is
No,
a weak
that
spot
wasn't.
for massive damage. Now you got it, but massive robot spider is better than giant enemy crab, and I do believe that it has a weak spot that you could exploit for massive damage.
Oh, I got it. Look at that go.
Can somebody write this up?
That's a feature.
That's awesome. This game had an amazing physics system.
It really does.
It totally does. It's incredible.
I remember the last stream you were on, you were talking about how much work it was to get broken glass.
Yes. Yes.
And we didn't see it on that stream. And then the very next stream, I specifically was breaking glass, and it really does look really good.
Yeah, it's bonkers. It's really cool. There's a lot of cool little tech things in here. I think for the time we were the only game that could push 20 ragdoll characters with grenades. The physics system in here is really a marvel. The engineer that created that is a mad genius and just put in an irrational amount of time getting it to where it is. But I think it's an important part of the game. One of my favorite things here is you get attacked by 30 leapers or something like that. You can throw a grenade and they all explode everywhere. It's pretty incredible.
Yep.
One of the things that sort of defines the gameplay in this game does not use Havoc. This had a most of our PlayStation 3 games had a custom physics engine. The world speedrun for this game is definitely not
this.
Not this. How long did it take us to make this game? I think this game is in production for 3 or 4 years, maybe. And a bunch of naked chimeras.
Yesterday, I got your Spider-Man game, and it is fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Glad you like it.
We agree.
Indeed.
Oh, going that way. Could really use some help.
Could really. Can you not sprint in this game?
I don't believe so.
Nope.
Are we getting a remaster Resistance? Oh, right here,
Looked
baby.
away. Looked away. Bad idea.
The whole.
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say the whole naked zombie chimera is used to freak me out, especially when you made me go into egg-infected places.
Oh my god. This is gonna suck.
This is a pretty nasty setup here.
I was. This has been my first time playing this game. I was surprised at how much. It surprised me how much oh man, there's this really kind of creepy alien.
Spider-Man does in fact use Havoc. All of our games since Fuse have used Havoc.
How are you still alive?
I wish R3 was on PSN. Yeah, you could probably buy R3 for... Do you think you could get it for a song? You could just sing something? Like a short song?
Just open a guitar
Like
case and stream.
Maresy Dotes and Dozy Dotes and Little Lambs Eat Ivy.
Maybe. Does it work on the PS4 though? I don't think it would, right? You need a PS3.
Unless you can stream.
Oh, that is a good point. You know what I did do that was pretty darn cool?
No.
I was playing Spider-Man on Play Now or PlayGo. That is really cool from my work PC.
Please don't die.
That's super
Oh my
compelling.
Yeah, played Bloodborne like that.
God. Need a
And it's totally doable. And imagine if you take on vacation stuff. I think it's genius.
Yeah, it's awesome.
If you went out on the street and started singing, someone would probably give you enough money for an R3, get you to stop singing. That is true. They do that in San Francisco. It's like a thing in San Francisco. People will sing until you pay them. It's brutal.
What is your favorite weapon? Asks Nasser.
So far, I haven't used this Hailstrom much, but
That thing
it's
is
pretty awesome.
That thing is awesome.
This thing is so awesome that we had to severely limit the ammo.
Yeah.
Because it's OP.
Yep. I like the rocket launcher though. Yeah, I'm always a fan of a good rocket launcher.
Yeah.
I like the sniper rifle slowing down time.
I think that the Hailstorm is actually one of the reasons.
And I'm out of it.
One of the reasons why we went to the 2-weapon system is because we couldn't do things like the Hailstorm. We made this really, really cool weapon, but you couldn't give people any ammo for it, because if people could use it whenever they wanted, then they could just mow through the whole game.
Right.
Can you? Oh, did you already use it? JB?
The Hailstrom?
Yeah.
I used it to take out that spider thing.
Spiders.
I need more ammo for it. I need more ammo for my carbine.
That tube there reminds me a lot of Edge of Nowhere. What is it about iris doors and aliens?
It must
You
be
think
the
they-
most efficient design.
You think? Yeah, that's like the fact. You think they invented that first, like when they're, like in times of yore for the aliens, they're like, we need to design this door. You think they just didn't have any doors? They're like, we don't even know what to do. Maybe they only had tunnels. But even a rectangular door makes a lot of sense because they're sized anyhow. Oh, those Chimera, they're all idiots.
Whoa.
What game started Insomniac's obsession with crafting gadgets? Was it Ratchet?
Well, let's see. Yeah, Spyro didn't have that. Disruptor had the psionic. So yeah, it was really, I think wacky weapons really started with with Monster House, that then became, or I'm sorry, Monster Knight, which then became Ratchet.
Still not.
This is going to be a really cool door. Or maybe it's not a door.
Did I looped around, I think. Yep, I looped around.
Oh, that's an angel.
Gotta kill this.
See, if that thing was just like in a little fishbowl, it wouldn't be.
Wouldn't be quite as
No.
scary. Oops, no. I want to.
Best weapon is Hale's hands.
That is true. The deadly Shaolin hands. That's what they were called.
There's 2 of them. Okay.
This looks like a final fight setup.
It does.
It isn't.
Oh,
But you're
is it?
close.
Oh,
No.
okay, cool.
Really?
Cool,
No, but you're
cool,
close.
Cool.
Why?
Because this is a lot.
This is not the.
It wouldn't be that bad if it were just the angels, but these guys are gonna kill me. I
No,
don't think I know.
this involves destroying a generator, as in all games must involve. In 2006, you could not make a game. It was actually a stipulation that we had to agree to contractually. You could not make a game unless it involved sabotaging a generator at the end. I don't care if it was Halo. It was the only thing.
How else are you supposed to open locked doors?
It was true.
Moved from key cards to destroying generators.
Right. Remember, I mean, it used to be so much simpler in the old days when you could just beat a bad guy. You just beat a bad guy and it's over. You get some text. They're like, good job. Congratulations. Then you have to just destroy, sabotage everything. I guess it was Star Wars that started that.
Or Doom. No, not Doom. Never mind. That was key cards.
Just if you could just stand still, say cheese.
This
Shoot you.
game definitely plays like an old school FPS. No sprint and limited health regen.
That'd do. Yeah. No iron sights. I think the fish chimera. You mean the what were those things called? Oh, the Furies, the furries.
I think we just don't know the answer to that, Spider-Man.
What?
He asked a question about. It was about something in the trailers that make it to
Oh.
the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't know the answer.
Okay,
Thomas, what's up?
Hoping that we get through this today. It's been awesome.
You just don't want to play again.
No, I do.
Oh,
wanna
we're
play
not
again.
going to in the next 3 minutes.
Oh,
no.
okay. I thought
gotta
I
go.
died.
What do
I
you think
died.
will happen? Sign VR in the future. What do you think will happen? I'm gonna guess that Sign should be
With. What do you think will happen with VR in the future? Do you
2 or with
Yeah.
or 2. You think more people will get on the bandwagon? I think
so.
I think the price matters. I think the hardware
Yeah.
matters. I think the products matter tremendously. Not to toot our own horn, except for the fact I get paid to do it. Stormland, I think, is the example of the kind of second or third generation VR title that
Sure.
really shows what this amazing medium can be. I think the
Yeah.
idea of doing an open world game in VR is I don't know. I think it has tremendous promise, and when you play it, it feels different. It feels like something like people will understand as a game. I think that's a huge component.
Mhm.
So, games like Stormland, perhaps there could be others.
Oh, those are good guys. Hey guys, what's up?
What are they doing in there?
I don't know. Could have used you a couple minutes ago.
You know, J. Frank programmed those guys.
Do you really?
Yeah, that's why they run backwards sometimes like that. We can ask him about it after. Let's see. Pretty crazy how the whole infection started because one guy decided a bowl of soup on the run. That is true. But it's usually, I mean, it's the butterfly effect.
Oh.
Resistance has gone to cottage direction. That is true. We sure did.
LA Noir looks hilarious. Yeah. I really enjoyed LA Noir.
Yeah?
Yeah. Quite a bit. I like games like that, though.
That was Team Bondi, maybe? Oh, no, that wasn't. That was Luxaflux. Clearly.
It was... I thought it was Rockstar.
It's
Maybe
Rockstar, but I didn't. Maybe
maybe
they just published it.
Yeah, I think they just published it.
Oh, hey, I got intel.
I never got an answer to who created the museum. Oh, there's Brian Hastings. Who
Take it easy, Scuba. Thank you for stopping
came
by.
up with the idea of the museum? Cool, Brian Hastings has gotten back to me.
LA Noir, Rockstar made it. Are you sure they developed it, not just published it?
I'm sure that they didn't develop it. I think it was
Yeah.
Team Bondi.
That sounds right.
Yeah, that sounds right to me, too. Team Bondi made it, yep.
I'm the smartest man alive. Bondi Beach is a really beautiful beach area in, what do you call it? Australia. I think it's outside of Sydney.
Well, I thought I was just coming up here to destroy something, but there's some dead dudes and some ammo. So there's another fight.
I was very happy when I saw Spider-Man was the best-selling PlayStation exclusive ever. Marvel sure must be proud of you, and so are we. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. There's pride all around on this one. It's
Indeed.
a fantastic thing to see. I've gotten to see this be the best-selling game Insomniac ever made, and Spider-Man.
It's awesome.
And then seeing that it's a record breaker for our friends at Sony is fantastic.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Feels like a really special time.
25-year partnership, 24-year partnership. All right, I believe that this is the final level.
Okay.
I think there's going to be a ring of like extremely grindy setups for shields.
I got some Hailstorm ammo for. Oh, when I need that.
Can we get through it in negative 1 minute? That is the question.
They made a TV show about the Bondi Beach lifeguards. That's funny.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
That guy's going to blow up. He's going to blow up in surprisingly small chunks. Isn't that
Yeah.
funny?
A lot of them disappeared.
Yeah, our chunks got a lot better in resistance too.
This guy was trying to climb away.
There's part of resistance where you first encounter the jumpers. Just after that,
Whoa.
a huge thing breaks through the wall. We never see that again. It's true. We never see that burrower again. It's a bummer. If that's the thing that you mean.
Well, I mean, no one is saying it.
You have no reason to save your ammo?
Yep.
Until this level's like way longer than you think.
Yep.
And
I'm
then
gonna
you're
get
like,
stuck.
Oh no.
Okay, so the answer is who came up with the museum? And Brian's answer, and he is probably one of the only people who would know this, was I can't remember. But he thinks it was something that they did in one of the Spyros originally and then it carried forward.
Oh really?
He remembers our animation director Oliver Wade contributing a lot to it on Ratchet and Clank. So he might have been the one that spearheaded it. Chad might know as well. Watch how small these chunks are. Where do all of his body parts go? And why are they so perfectly round? Isn't that super funny? He explodes in meatballs. You just rake that up and put some pasta, put it on pasta, put some sauce on it. Great. Are you guys looking forward to the new Halloween movie?
It could be cool.
I heard that it uses John Carpenter's music, original music. Is that? Does it?
I mean that sounds right.
I don't know.
I know it's directed by a North Carolinian.
That is my pleasure for getting an answer. I'm sorry it took so long, but Brian selfishly was at lunch. Probably eating a salad from the South Commissary, because that's where he likes to go. The first Ratchet and Clank on PS2 reused a lot of sound effects from Spyro. Not true, it's false. Actually, that might be true. Jamie Lee Curtis is in the lead role again. That's funny.
Yep.
Sophie, Carrie Strode. What the heck is her name?
I think that's right. I think that's correct.
People are saying it's a true sequel. Huh? That does sound cool.
Oh,
It's gotten pretty good buzz. I'm not a huge Halloween person, but I like horror movies.
Yeah, I like horror movies too.
So I'll check it out for sure. I'm gonna go see Mandy this weekend. That looks awesome.
Nice. Mandy Moore, right? That's what you were talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah.
Yeah,
Live
she's
in
one of my
concert.
favorites.
Oh my god.
You're gonna have to hit that about 1 billion more times, that reactor.
Oh.
You just like put like 6 shots in and you're like, alright, peace out guys. No. Laurie Strode, there it is. Thank you. No, Mandy, yeah, I heard that was terrific.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for like a good Nicolas Cage movie, so I'm excited.
I think Brian Hastings, he's not sure. Someone in the office probably knows though. And I'm going to write back that someone
Is you?
Someone
Is
you.
you. Email the whole office.
I think that
Okay.
there are probably only about 6, maybe 5 or 6 people that worked on Spyro still here.
These things. Oh,
John
horrible.
Fiorito might know. Ted definitely won't know.
Nicolas Cage is playing Spider-Man Noir in Into the Spider-Verse. Is that true?
I don't even know what that means.
The Into the Spider-Verse movie?
What is that?
It's like got like Miles and a whole bunch of different versions of Spider-Man in it.
This
It's
is
an
like an
animated movie.
Oh, I see. Okay,
Yeah.
got it. I thought you meant like an MCU.
No.
I'm nearly 20, but I really love 80s horror. I'm nearly 42, and I also love 80s horror. Because I wasn't allowed to watch it in the 80s, because I was sheltered. Now look at me. I'm a mess. You were sheltered too, weren't you?
I mean, kind of, but I don't like horror, so
Weren't
I
you-
wouldn't have watched
Weren't
it.
you like not allowed to use electricity or something like that?
No.
You could watch TV or something, right?
No, I just wasn't interested in watching
No.
that stuff. Oh,
Maybe I'm mixing up
I
with
need-
Brandy.
They tried to shelter me, but I was a bit of a rebel.
I'm gonna die right now because I'm pretty sure it's gonna take me way too far back. There we go.
You're actually going to have to go back to Up Your Arsenal
Hey,
if you die here, which is the... Oh no, it's Deadlock that we shipped before this. Can we just look at the troopers a little bit? I just want to like just check out their performance. Here, back up. Give them some room. Oh come on, work with me.
he's saving his ammo.
He's not hit. There you go. There you go.
Oh wait, there's one to the right. What is he doing? I just want to see him move. Look at him.
Look at that sidestep.
The hip pivot.
It is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
What am I stuck against?
Those guys did a lot of squats. They have really, really flexible, strong hips. Question for Sean, am I spelling your name right? You indeed are. Thank you. Ratchet and Clank Remake was also great. I've played it 10 times. 5 on normal, 5 on challenge mode. Now I can't stop playing Spider-Man. Guys, thank you. You make great games. You're my number 1 studio. Well, thank you for those kind words. That is one of the big reasons why we do what we do.
It means a lot to us.
Hearing stuff like that.
Yeah. So what's your favorite 80s horror series, Sean, now that you're getting into it?
Favorite
What do you
80s
got?
horror series? I think I'd have to go,
Friday the 13th, or?
no, I was actually going to go with Elm Street.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think that's...
I like the bubblegum horror a little bit more.
Yeah, and it's so creative conceptually.
Yeah.
Like, I love that aspect to it.
The Jason stuff just seemed kind of... the Friday the 13th just seemed sort of... exploitive is the right word.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. It's very, like when you think of the slasher formula, like that is the thing when you think of right? That's the one that established that formula. I kind of ran with it the whole time.
We've got to get clear.
Hold this position. That's an order.
I think I did it.
It's too late. No one's coming out.
I kind of really like Child's Play though,
Huh.
because it's so like out there.
I think I didn't like the grindhouse stuff. I think that's where that's the distinction for me. I actually dug when they had the big revival, and they had movies like Urban Legend and Scream.
Oh, yeah.
And I Know You Did Last Summer.
Yeah.
I dug those. They remind me of like who's that author? Christopher Pike or something. Wrote this series called Chain Letter. There's like these cheesy like
As the
teen
tower fell,
slasher flicks. I
Chimeran
think I dig
creatures
that stuff.
began to shriek and writhe
The
on
grindhouse stuff
ground.
just I don't know.
They died within minutes.
Something's disturbing.
We
Yeah.
believe
Like
they
human
were simply
centipede.
unable to survive
Yeah.
Oh.
the loss of the
So we beat the
angels.
game.
We
Yeah.
did it.
You did.
Significance
Well done.
of
Good job,
our
James. I mean,
wasn't
thanks.
understood
Give it for
for
James
several
Burns.
days.
James Burns,
Thanks.
yeah.
The
Don't clap for
reactor
James Burns.
See,
meltdown
that wasn't
caused
too hard
a
to have
chain
to do.
reaction that destroyed all the towers in the network.
You saved the world.
At
did.
least in
No.
vision, the Chimera
Oh,
was
no.
defeated.
No.
I saved somebody.
I feel
We've
like
investigated the
there
ruins
is
of 5
a
towers so
bumper
far.
cinematic that we're not going
As
to get
we
to see because
attempt
you have to
to
beat it on like
reverse
impossible
engineer
mode.
the
But it
complex
shows
technology.
Hale getting picked up
The
by
mystery of
the
the Chimera only
by
deepens.
mysterious black ops
With
people.
combat subsided,
And Resistance
soldiers
2
have been searching
starts
the rural
off
villages for survivors.
right after
So far,
that
we
secret
found
ending.
Oh, I see.
921
So you
hiding
won the
in
battle,
bunkers
but
and
the war's not
basements.
over.
It's true.
78 of
And then
them children.
ultimately,
Cartwright's
sadly,
youngest
Hale
daughter Angela was among them.
is
As for Nathan
murdered
Hale,
in cold blood
his body was never recovered.
by his protege.
He was presumably
what happens? I thought he
incinerated
becomes,
inside
like-
the tower. The American
He gets
military lists
taken
him
over,
as
mind
killed
control.
in action.
Oh
July
yeah, the
14th,
cold blood I was
1951.
I gotcha.
playing up a little bit.
Gotcha.
It kind
He
of
still
it kind of
believes
turned
he might
into an
escape
alien
somehow.
Right.
evil messiah at
I
that
even
point. So
thought I heard
Right.
his
Oh.
voice on the radio just after the tower.
I wouldn't say he was asking for it, but yeah.
I'll never know for sure.
Oh yes, that sleeping bag scene. Was that in Jason X that he's talking about?
No, it's that one is crazy.
That is the funniest thing where
It's like the second one, I think.
he's just slamming them. Yeah, Lieutenant Hale. It's been an honor, sir.
No, the one
Oh.
in Jason X.
There you go.
Hey, I know
Look.
those people. Look,
It's
Yancey Young.
Whoa.
I know some of these names.
This is in reverse order.
Uh-huh. Last name.
James Stevenson. Ryan Schneider. Still here. William Powers.
Ted Price.
Billy.
Big
Kevin
Ted.
Osborne.
Big Igor. Here it comes.
Duncan Moore.
There it is. Look
There
at
it
that.
is.
Look at
Sean
that.
McCabe.
Oh yeah.
Golf clap for Sean McCabe.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Kaplan. Peter Cow still here. Grant Hall still here. Al Hastings still here. Dave Hancock still here. Dave Gurton still here. Greg Goodman. Doug Finch. John Fiorita. Chad DeZern. Chris Edwards. There's a lot of people still there. Jacinda. Oh, I
Daniel
totally
Bill.
forgot about some of the people in this. That's really funny. Brian Allgaier and Zach Adams. David Bergeau, who also composed the music for Ratchet.
Mm.
Our very, very good friend Mark Cerny. Do you know who did the voice of Nathan Hale?
No,
David Kay, who is also Clank.
really.
And also the
I would never guess that.
announcer on
That's quite the.
Last Week Tonight with John Oliver.
Well,
Oh,
wow.
really?
The guy who goes, and now this.
Oh, that's cool.
That is Clank, David Kay.
It's quite the
It's
chameleon.
Phil Harrison, Shu Yoshida, Connie Booth. This is awesome. Grady. Sam, Greg. Kaylee. Oh, wow. I didn't know they were all APs on this. It's funny.
Yeah.
Cert. Ken Miyake.
I think we're gonna.
Mohammed. I just saw Mohammed or something. Can't we just go through the credits and I can just pick out names and go, yeah.
I mean, we can if you want to.
Sunmi.
Trip down memory lane.
Yeah. Natty. Paul. Swami Manny. Oh, this is a ridiculously talented group of programmers you're seeing in this. It's kind of outrageous. Buzz. Buzz is awesome. Ned. Keith. Those guys were a huge help to me on the audio team. Also, these folks. Graham, big help with the movie player. Andy. I don't know any of these people. They're all dead to me. No, I'm kidding. I wonder who our FPQA tester is. Jeremy. So Jeremy's still there. That's awesome. Joe Castano. He was one of the producers on Spider-Man.
That's cool.
Yes, he's awesome. Let's see. Contract tester. I like their contingent testers. So I'm not going to know any of these people. I want to see if people like
Welcome back, Lubinski. You missed the end of the game. We're watching the credits. You beat the game.
I don't remember any of these names.
Should we cut back to the couch, or?
Yeah, let's go back to the couch.
All right. Well,
You did it.
we
Yeah,
did it.
that was awesome. Thanks for letting me sit in.
Well, really, James did it, but I'm not above taking credit.
Yeah.
So we did it.
Yeah, bravo.
Yeah.
Ara. So Ara was I think our lead producer on Spider-Man.
Oh.
Sean Kelly, Dan Brook. These are all the people from Europe.
Great job, team. We did
There's
it.
lots of people that work on this darn thing.
Could have done it without you, chat. Sean, you're an awesome dude, says Lewis.
Thank you, Lewis. That's very kind of you.
Yeah. So, I think Burbank is going to be streaming tomorrow. I'm not sure what it's going to be. And then we will be back here in North Carolina Tuesday of next week. And we'll see what we'll stream. It might be Resistance 2. It might not. I know we plan to eventually get to that. I just don't know if we're going to get to that immediately.
Take a break.
Yeah, it might happen. But thanks for being here, everybody.
Mhm.
You've been awesome. We'll see you later.
See ya.
Later.
Bye.